I believe the as yet unidentified caller was our copycat killer.
Ooh, now it's getting really good. Hannibal delivered another thrilling episode this week as Abigail woke up and things turned from bad to so much worse. We've already seen in the first couple of episodes that Hannibal is willing to get his hands dirty to influence a certain situation. But this week he stepped up to an all-nother level as he stealthily knocked out Lana to cover for Abigail Hobbs. She was still the main suspect remaining for her father's case, but as she was laid out in a coma since the incident, there wasn't exactly any way for Jack to get some closure on the matter. He still very much thinks that she had some sort of involvement in the killings, a theory which Will doesn't think too kindly of. But now, as Abigail awoke, everyone around her was determined to get some answers. Against Alana's advice and siding with Hannibal, Jack insisted that Abigail was to return to her Minnesota home and to the scene of her father's crimes. Casey Rowe played the role of Abigail extremely well, and as Alana pointed out, she has already begun to show the characteristics for manipulation and does look like she is hiding something. That said, she does have you sympathising with her character. She looks like she has gone through hell and back to arrive at this moment. But as you do begin to feel for the girl, her story and answers do have you wavering on the did she or didn't she do it line. It's a question that we still haven't got answered, but from the chaos that ensued in the Hobbs home, it doesn't look all that good for her. She gutted Nicholas Boyle, demonstrating that killer instinct. The guy wasn't even armed, he was just there looking for answers most likely. And the most painful part of all, it wasn't even Garrett Jacob Hobbs that actually killed Nicholas Boyle's sister. It was the copycat killer, aka Hannibal. He actively hid evidence when the opportunity presented itself, just calm and personified. Though one person does seem to have caught on. I do wonder whether it was right here that Abigail realised that Hannibal was indeed that man on the phone. The twisted role-playing idea ironically had Hannibal placed right where he should have been. And that hint of a smile told the whole story, as Hannibal himself went on to get a lot more involved than anyone could have anticipated. Just as Alana was about to spot Abigail, hands covered in blood, Hannibal blindsided her, knocking her unconscious in the blink of an eye. Seriously, it was like bam, done, gone. We've never had a Hannibal that was a real physical presence before, but now Mads gave us a glimpse of what lies underneath that smart, soft-spoken demeanour. Now I'd like to point out this particular scene because it has stayed with me since the first time that I ever saw it. Hannibal watching on as Will gave his lecture on the copycat killer, him, was absolutely brilliant. Watching on, impressed at what he was hearing. He knew Will is 100% right in everything that he was saying, as Hannibal grinned on with that look of admiration. Freddie also showed up again this week trying to throw more spanners into the works, and she at last got her face-to-face meeting with the man she's been writing oh so much about. Didn't go down too well, of course. Will just blatantly threatened her there and then, which had Jack face-palming at the news. But Freddie poking around Abigail does raise alarm bells for Will, and now for Hannibal. He never outright admitted his actions to Abigail, just carefully treaded around the subject, never saying too much. But it now looks like he and her potentially know each other's most guarded secret. At least mostly. Abigail has no idea the depth at which the good doctor's secret goes, or what he will do in order to keep it that way. For now, he seems content with Abigail getting a glimpse into his true self. So let's hope that Abigail stays true to her word and does keep his secret, because if she doesn't, there will not be a happy ending for her.
You be my dad, you be my mom, and you be the man on the phone.
Abigail, we wanted you to come home, to help you leave home behind.
My overall verdict for the third episode of Hannibal is a high 8 out of 10. Hannibal got a lot more active this week as events truly began to hit the fan. Marissa Shaw and Nicholas Boyle were added to the body count this week, as Hannibal began to show us a glimpse of the inner demon. Abigail and Hannibal now potentially know each other's darkest secret, with Hannibal only teasing enough as to not alert any further attention. But I would expect to see them both form a deadly friendship in the near future. Whether or not Will catches on to what happened, we'll have to wait and find out. The episode holds one of my favourite scenes in Hannibal's first season. That lecture that I mentioned with Hannibal's sly smile was brilliantly crafted, and that chaotic ending where Hannibal began to get physically involved showed us as viewers that it's not just his mind that everyone should be frightened of. Jack is sure to have one eye fixed on Abigail whenever he is around her, and he risked breaking her this week by allowing her to revisit the scene of the crime. At the moment, it looks as if Hannibal is finding a mix of ways to please both Alana and Jack, while spinning his own influence on the matter. Alana actually started to get quite suspicious of Abigail towards the latter of the episode, where in the beginning she was very defensive of her. Hannibal at the time argued for both sides of the party, but when it came down to it, you knew that he wanted her to go back there. Will wasn't given a say in the matter, as those around him thought he's too emotionally involved. But now with what transpired at the end of the episode, and with Hannibal so curious and so eager to see the depth of where Will's mind can take him, will Hannibal perhaps allow Will into their shared secrets, or will he keep him at an arm's length? So what did you guys think about this week's episode of Hannibal, and what was your favourite moment from this particular episode? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And I'll see you on the next one.
It's not very smart to piss off a guy who thinks about killing people for a living.